Hey guys, hello. How are you guys today? I am Avi and I'm back in your favorite show, Minding My Business. And today we have a very special guest with us here today, DEDEE Pfeiffer. Yes, the sister of Michelle Pfeiffer, and she has her new show coming up, which has already released in the United States, coming up in India. It's called Big Sky. It's a nice mystery thriller, kind of a whodunit. So we're gonna discuss all these things and much more, and about movie making, about post-pandemic movie making era with DEDEE Pfeiffer, guys. Let's welcome her on the show.
Hi, how are you?
So, DEDEE, how are you? Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you too. Do you want me to shoot that grape? Is that a lot of glare?
It's okay,
Canada?
it's okay, not a problem, not a problem. So, this show is called Minding My Business, and my name is Avi. My name is Avi. Hi, and I am an Indian from Dubai, and thank you for coming to my show. And it's a big honor for me to have, you know, I don't get celebrities usually in my show. I mean, so this is something which doesn't happen often. It doesn't happen often.
I mean,
Not
you need
not often.
celebrities on your show. I'll talk to the cast. I'll tell the cast I'll come on your show.
Thank you. It's not often, and thank you very much. So, DEDEE, what have you been up to? And I believe you're in Canada now.
Yes, actually, if you look back there and all that light, it's just shocking because it's been very rainy here lately. I'm in Canada.
Okay.
When we first started the show, it was literally days before the pandemic and the shutdown. We were in New Mexico shooting.
Okay.
Yeah, we had like one day that we had shot. I flew home real quick to tell my boys that Mama's going to be in New Mexico and, just get all the animals and the kids settled. And then I got stuck there trying to get toilet paper and everything shut down. The world shut down.
Yeah.
So then we started back up here in Canada. So now we're in Canada.
So, DEDEE, your new show is out, Big Sky, and I wanted to discuss all about it because I love the trailer. It's very intriguing and very thrilling, I must say. And it actually opens in India on the February 23rd in Indian streaming platform, and I think it's something new because I believe you guys have right now released 5 episodes for now.
Yeah. Yes, we have 5 episodes, and then we did like a winter hiatus.
Okay.
And we left you with a big cliffhanger. So it's
Okay. So are you like shooting the same thing in Canada as well? Are you shooting for the other episodes of Big Sky?
Yeah, actually, we ended up shooting all of it here in Canada.
Oh, okay. I mean, obvious reasons. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So, DEDEE, can you tell us a little bit about your character and a little bit about the show just for my audience as well, please?
Yes. Well, the show is crazy. It's a wild ride. Buckle up. Wear your seatbelts. It's a crazy ride. It's an emotionally charged show. It's a thriller. It's a whodunit, but yet this is kind of flipped. The audience knows whodunit, but we don't. So that's kind of.
Okay.
That doesn't mean you know what's going to happen. Nobody is safe on this cast as actors. Let me tell you.
Okay.
Nobody is safe. You don't want to upset any producer because you'll be the next one to go. They'll just write you out. No, I'm joking.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
My character is the funny one, actually. She's like I'm not going to say the funny one because I know that Legarsky, he's actually funny in a kind of a demented way. This is a very it's a thriller. So my character is a little bit of the comedy relief, a little bit. She's the voice of reason. She's the grounded place. I'm like the rock that everybody kind of goes back to. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you to reveal so much. I know you have a limitation. So, I mean, DEDEE, tell me, so when did you actually finish your production? I believe there was some delays also, obvious reasons due to the COVID-19 all over the world. So like, did you guys, plan to release it earlier in the US and face delays? That's a problem with the majority of the productions all over the world right now.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I am right now in quarantine. Canada has, what day? I have my book here to remind me because it's one big day after a while. I'm on day 12. Day 12 of a 14-day isolation, like you are by yourself for 14 days. When you come into Canada, you quarantine for 14 days, and they're very serious. They will fine you, throw you in jail, or kick you back over the border. Oh yeah. So I went home for the holidays to see my boys for 1 week, and when I came back, I had to quarantine all over again. So I'm almost. So thank you for this interview. It gave me something to do because all get real littler and littler as the days get longer and longer.
Yes.
So yeah, we are in a pandemic. We are filming during a pandemic, completely different. We get tested 2 to 3 times a week, whether we're working or not. Everything is completely changed. We did have like a hiccup for a minute in the production just because in Canada tests got backed up. But one thing I have to say about Disney is this is the Disney print. They're not messing around in ABC. If we don't get our tests back and they don't see all negative tests, we don't work. Like we're just gonna hold up the show, and then you guys have like a dead space of air for an hour. Never good for a network, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they take it very serious. We don't want anybody to inadvertently get it and then give it to the crew or the beautiful Canadians around us that allowed us to come film here. You know, we have a responsibility across the board to be safe, just because it's the morally and ethically right thing to do.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, DEDEE, and you're back on television, as I read, after 10 years. And you've taken a big break, and I mean, it's awesome to see you. And you went back and studied psychology. And I mean, can you tell us about that brief, I mean, that break which you had, and what did you do, and how did you again think about back, and you know?
Well, let's see. I mean, it's actually interesting. I just turned 57. So I've been doing everything for a long time. I'm like on round 2 now. So I was acting for 30 plus years. Long story short, I always did volunteer work. I always cared about social welfare issues. The best I could do is volunteer in between working and what have you. So 10 years ago, when I started looking at the world, it's funny mentioning the world now. 10 years ago, I thought it looked bad 10 years ago. Now it's like, whoa. I think my degree is probably more prominent now than ever, or important anyways. So 10 years ago, I wanted to help. So and honestly, the industry, I was so loyal to the industry, and I didn't feel I was being very loyal back. And I really wanted to help people. So I thought I probably should go get one of those things called a degree or something. I had no idea what I was doing, literally no idea. So I went to a community college and said, hey, I want to help people. And they said, okay, what degree do you want? And I said, I don't know. You tell me. They said, no, you tell me. And I said, I don't know. I'm an actor. I don't know. So they basically said, why don't you go for a psych degree? I said, okay. So I started down that path. It took me 6 years to get my bachelor's of psych. I'm a single parent. I have 2 boys in tow. So, you know.
Congratulations. I mean, yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, I mean, because I had to orchestrate all my classes around getting them to school, taekwondo, soccer, basketball.
Social work, become a student again. Yeah. It's a.
And honestly, I didn't know what I was doing, and I had a ton of learning disabilities that I had no idea I had. I just thought I was stupid. So luckily in community college, they assessed me and they discovered, wow, you're actually very bright. You just have learning disabilities, and that's going to make you feel like you're always behind, or you don't understand, or I have a processing issue. So they helped supply me with learning disabilities like help, tons of tutors, a note taker, extra time when I took my tests. All of this landed me with A's. I went from like barely a C student to A's because my learning disability was actually acknowledged that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting how like the littlest thing, a little bit of awareness can change?
Those things which they actually tell you, I mean, if somebody looks at the way you process things, and if somebody actually pinpoints things which you are probably, which you lack or which you don't, you actually realize that what you're good at, and that works.
Yeah.
That works to your advantage. Yeah.
I had no idea that I suck at math, but that was no-brainer. But I'm actually considered, I guess, a good writer. And I was like, I can't even write like a letter. Like, what are you talking about? But I had a processing issue that gave me a hiccup from getting my thoughts to the page. There's a disconnect in between there. Once they were able to assess for that and accommodate for that, I was able to fluidly get my thoughts out, and what came out was actually they considered pretty good. So that was a shock to me. And then what's more important, it made me a better parent, because then I started looking over at my sons, and sure enough, I started seeing the same frustrations they were having in school. So I had them assessed, and sure enough, they have one of them has a processing issue, the other one has something else, but we were able to accommodate it in school. So with understanding, and then
you can rectify it. Yeah,
because otherwise they were frustrated, and you don't want to keep doing something if you're frustrated.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So anyways, I got my bachelor's of psych, and then I ended up at the last turning where I could go into psych or something else. I went to social work, and I got a master's of social work, because it's a very diverse degree. It goes beyond just children. My area of concentration is homelessness, mental health, and substance use. And I look at it from the lens of a biopsychosocial lens, looking at it from those perspectives, not just a linear way of looking at it, and also from a macro, meso, and micro policy, community, and individual, upstream and downstream perspectives. So yeah, it's just a great degree, at least at UCLA. And the way, I bet you that's my publicist telling me it's time for your interview.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, DEDEE, I mean, this is something which even I loved it when I was reading about your thing. That, I mean, so how did you again decide to come back to acting? Was it like the script of Big Sky came over and you were like, I have to do this, or you were thinking, okay, let me see, I want to get back to acting, and then you were looking for projects, and then this one came over, and yeah.
Actually, Avi, it's actually a really beautiful story, and it means a lot to me. It took me 10 years to go get one of those things called a degree, because I really thought I could just pop in and then take a year and pop out. I had no idea about the academic journey. And I hadn't abandoned acting per se, and I didn't want to abandon my fan base, who have always been so amazing to me. And yet I had this incredible desire to help people. It was like my heroin. Like, I had to help people. I didn't stick in college for 10 years because it was necessarily fun, but my desire to help people. And I knew that they kept telling me, you need this, you need that, to help people on a larger scale. So oddly enough, I was finishing my last year social work. And I was at my internship at the Department of Mental Health, and my brother-in-law, David E. Kelly, texts me, which he never does, by the way. I mean, I love my brother-in-law and we're close, but we don't hang out. We don't talk on the phone. We don't text. We see each other on holidays, and he's funny, and we just, we're just a family.
Yeah.
He texted me out of nowhere, that little son of a gun, and said, hey, you still acting? I'm doing this thing called Big Sky, and there's a really great role for you in there. I almost dropped my phone, because I thought, he didn't know he had thrown me, Avi, he threw me a lifeline, and he had no idea. Because when I went through this journey, I didn't realize that social work paid no money, like really little teeny bit of money. And I had 2 boys I was somehow going to support with no money. And at this point, I was financially drained. I didn't know how I was going to make it work, but I had to throw it up to Mother Earth. I had to stay in my lane, and just keep focusing, acknowledging the good and the bad and everything in between, but really use the lens of, I believe in my heart and good, and somehow this will work out because my intentions are right. I got to show my boys that, just keep your eye on the ball, and leave a lot of room for good, leave a lot of space for things to happen. And that if you're looking at life through like this is my motto. If you're looking at life through this lens, through resistance, look what gets through, right? Not a lot. But if you look at life like this, curiosity, look at everything that you can see when you look at life with curiosity versus resistance. So I just had to I had to keep using that lens. And then I got the phone call from my brother in-law, and I was like, yes,
Voila.
thank you. So all I thought was not, oh, I can get back on the air and act again. Actually, no. It was, I can use this opportunity to get even a bigger fan base, to one day to bridge my fan base to social welfare issues and help people on a larger scale. And in the process of that, right now when we're going through a pandemic and the world is just upside down, especially the States, I have the opportunity to be on a show to help entertain, let people check out for 1 hour a week. I get to be part of that because we do need to check out for an hour a week right now. It's tough times.
Yes, DD, yes, of course. I mean, DD, are you gonna take, after this show, are you gonna take like more longer breaks, or like are we gonna see you more often? Like you're gonna see more projects?
I mean, you're gonna see me a lot, and you're gonna want me to come back on the show once we get further on.
I'm gonna finish this show and get back to you again. Of course.
When you see what happens on the show, you're gonna be like, my best friend. After every 3 episodes, she texts me or calls me and goes, I can't believe you didn't tell me that happened. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. So, no, I'm not going to disappear. You're going to see me a lot. So, but I probably won't be wearing a hat the next time.
Didi, a few more things before I finish this podcast. What I want to know is, because see, you're returning back to acting after a long time. So you're one of those actually with whom I'm chatting who is actually right now shooting post-pandemic. And then you have, obviously you have worked pre-pandemic, like long time back. Apart from the industry discipline, apart from the discipline which has obviously improved, you think like things from now on, you know, what is your take on the post-pandemic era production? You know, like how are things now, apart from say all the lockdowns and all the protocols you have to obviously follow? Like, are things getting more expensive, or like will the budgets cut down more on the actors? Like, I mean, obviously I've noticed things now which were like, oh, like different, you know?
Yeah, actually, Big Sky started we started right before the pandemic. We shut down with the whole country, and then we came back, and now we're in Canada shooting during the pandemic. And we are in no way, shape, or form post-pandemic. Our show, which is kind of nice, our show takes place past the pandemic, which is kind of nice to even think of the idea of of no masks and the fear that we all have that we're going to inadvertently get it and give it to somebody else. Right now, it's very different. Like I said, I wouldn't recognize one crew member if they were walking down the street right now without a mask. I haven't met more than half the cast. I only meet the cast members that I'm in the scene with. Everything is Zoom. I like this, I call it my bat cave. I spend more hours in this bat cave than I do on the set, because it's the responsible thing to do. Canada, the numbers here are going up. So we went from being tested twice a week for COVID now to 3 times a week.
Ooh.
So I to say post-pandemic, we're not there yet, dude. Ask me again in about a year when we're doing season 2.
Of course.
And then I can answer that question. But right now, actually, it's getting even a little more intense. And they're taking even more precautions now because of, I guess, a 3rd strain that might be out there now, or a 2nd strain. And it's more contagious, so we have to be even more diligent and more careful. It's a completely different way of filming. What you see is true. Things are changing dramatically. For productions, you know, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know, but it is more expensive now because when we used to come together and you get on the set and you're all over each other, departments are working together, and you could get things done like that. Like they always say time is money. Well, now it's like, sorry, you can't do that anymore. You have bubble A, bubble B, and bubble C, and they're never allowed to blend together. So each bubble gets their opportunity to go on the set and do their thing, and then they leave, and then they sterilize, and then the bubble B comes in, and then they do, and they sterilize, and they leave. And then we come in bubble A because we have to take off the mask to rehearse and what have you. And
of course,
it's there's an intimacy that has been sacrificed in filmmaking. But I will say this, I'm not complaining. I think that it's a small sacrifice to keep people safe.
Yep.
I lost,
Yep.
I lost a friend to COVID.
Yeah.
And that broke my heart. Like
Yeah.
I knew him because we kickboxed together. He was trying to lose weight and get healthy. And then the COVID got him. It's like, wow, that it just, no. I say, okay, that's all right. We can be intimate later. We can, one day soon, but not now. Yeah.
Okay. And one last question, Didi. So this last 6 months, I think we have seen a number of movies. I mean, I asked this to everyone because I want to know what everyone actually thinks. Because, from the time Tenet was releasing, we all wanted to watch blockbuster movies in theaters, and then Warner Brothers drops a bomb that, now we're going to release everything in theaters as well as HBO Max. And then you have tons of streaming platforms, and no one cares about theaters anymore. Of course, it's due to the COVID pandemic, but I mean, how cool are you? This is just a question. I don't want you to, if you cannot answer it, I know, I mean, you have to be a little considerate, but how cool are you with everything streaming around directly, and the movie business, the theater movie business completely going down? I mean, obviously we all love the experience, but I'm curious, I want to know your take. Just a small response, that's it. I mean, I don't want to create any...
I watch Ancient Aliens. I'm very interested in the mysteries of the world, I'm going to India. If I go, will you show me around?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
One of the things I really, really, really want to do when the pandemic chills out, I want to go there. There's just so many things in the world that I don't know about, and I want to see, I want to smell, I want to taste.
Good. Actually, you will have to probably sit and plan out well. I mean, it's a vast country, and I think you will. I mean, it will be a very nice trip. I mean, for the degree again, if you go and look for people like them, and if you see the country that way, I think, I mean, it's wonderful. That is something which probably once, I think now the vaccines are going to be out soon, you could probably plan, and it will be fun. Believe me, it will be fun. It will be
exactly. Fun. Well, so to answer your question about theater and feature films in the big, now that's my sister's area. That's my sister Michelle.
Of course.
She's got a feature film that's supposedly going to be Oscar nominated, Oscar winning, but I'm not sure if what they're going to do with it, because she shot it before, and now she's one of those films that are sitting there going, uh-oh, what do we do? I think that at this point, all the studios and networks and the streaming and the TV and everything, I think everybody is doing the best that they can, considering the element. It's not what anybody would prefer. Trust me. I don't think anybody.
Yeah, well, maybe prefers. Yeah. Of course.
My sons they like to sit down and binge and all that kind of stuff. That's the generation of it. Our show drives you a little crazy because we're on once a week. So we're old school. We're going to torture you a little bit. And wait. And it's on Hulu now, so you can binge it, I guess. So.
Yeah.
I think that, it's like what I say to everybody, nobody knows how to do a pandemic. If someone wrote the manual on how to do it, please send that pamphlet to me, because, we're all trying to figure it out. We're kind of writing the book as we go. And I think, unfortunately, what we're learning more than anything is how to do it wrong. People aren't listening to wearing masks, aren't, making it into a political thing when it's just being a responsible thing. Listen, when the doctor puts a mask on to do surgery, come on, don't, whatever. So, but we're going to look back on this in history, and we're going to see to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yes.
But I will say this in everybody's defense, this hit us out of nowhere. Nobody saw this coming. And so we can point fingers all day long, and there was absolutely some major things in at least our country that went wrong. But having said that, just in general, I mean, like I say to my boys, I don't know how to be in a pandemic. I don't know how to feel. So I said, whatever you're feeling is correct.
Okay. Agreed.
And if you're angry today, fine, then be angry, because I'm angry too. But it's what you do with that anger is the most important thing, right? It's not okay to be angry and then go trash a building. No, or be angry and refuse to wear a mask and go be a jerk and go to a store and give them a hard time for not wearing a mask. That's not good.
That's not done.
You know, look, that's just being a jerk, and just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop with that. You know, my son's told that. I'd be like, excuse me? Really? You know what I mean? I always think, who raised these people? I'm a single mom, and it's hard. And I'm raising boys who know better, you know? So anyways, I think, I don't even know how to answer that question, dude, other than...
I mean...
God bless us all, man. I do know this. Those of us who are coming together and reaching out and trying to help each other, give each other little lifelines to get through this, that's what this is really about for me.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, that's finding the light in a room of dark.
Of course, yeah.
Continue to do that. There's some beauty that's going to come out of this. There's a lot of ugly that's coming out of this too. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have choices, right? From there we have choices, and but it's hard. Listen, I don't like quarantining. I'm the most social person you meet. And these Zoom interviews I get are like, woohoo! I'm alive.
Yes, DD, yes, agreed. I mean, even I personally think that studios don't have any other option, to be honest. These studios who are releasing the movies and the platforms, I think one thing is they don't have any other option as well. I mean, what to do? I mean, yeah, I completely agree. I mean, that is something which I'm still asking, because, you know, people have their own opinions, and, you know, I'm curious to know what people think. Otherwise, I think this is something which, you know, you can't do much about it. Yeah, there's no other option.
I can say this, if there was something else to do, so they didn't go bankrupt and lose their industry or their business, imagine they would do it. I know that there were, in the beginning, at least one of my friends who had in another state, I can't remember, North Carolina or South Carolina, he has a theater business, whatever, and he took it outside. He had to spend a lot of money, and he put the screens outside, and he kind of made it into a social
theaters.
Drive-in, but you could bring your beach chairs as long as you social distance. And then he tried, but even that, you know, I don't think that could be enough revenue to keep him alive. I don't know the answer, dude. Honestly, you know, I think it's easy right now to cast judgment. It's like, because my thing is, well, then if you have another idea, please.
Yeah, of course.
I would imagine if they haven't already thought of it, they would love your idea, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I'm always open for people throwing suggestions my way. You know, I'm in quarantine and someone said, "Oh, try jumping jacks." I'm like, "Oh, that's stupid." And then I woke up one morning and I thought I was going to lose my mind. I did jumping jacks, and I was like, "Oh, I feel a little better."
Thank you, Didi. I mean, I am coming to an end to my podcast, and let me tell you, it's an honor to talk to you. And thank you very much to come to my podcast so early in the morning. It's so cold outside for you. I mean, still, thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to watching your show, Big Sky. And I'm pretty intrigued, and I will complete the entire 5 episodes probably in one go. So that is something which I love. I'm personally a big fan of whodunits and all those suspense thrillers, and this is something which, you know, the trailer is so lovely, and I think, and it's very stylish. And I hope, you continue working and continue smiling. And yes, Didi, I will probably see you again. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. Take care. See ya. Thank you, Didi. Thank you.
Thank you, Avi. I'll see you one day when I come visit you. Visit you.
Of course. Whoa, guys. So finally, I've come to an end with this podcast with DEDEE PFEIFFER, and it was really an honor to talk to her, and it was lovely to actually know her story, and it's really, really inspiring. And I hope you guys have liked this podcast, and I mean, it was amazing, right? It was amazing to know her story, and I hope I can bring more such stories and more such celebrity guests next time. Until then, guys, keep watching Minding My Business. Thank you.